Life on a sailboat means a slow-paced life. Chores take longer, hours longer, and how your day goes depends a lot on the weather and sea conditions. In the dry, hot summer, it's a brilliant way of life because you get to swim, sail, fish, work and explore in your tiny home without much drama happening. Good morning! We have had a lovely productive day yesterday, working and chilling out a little bit, and today we are going to try and retrieve our gear. Hopefully no one has picked it up yesterday, but we really needed a day to sort ourselves out. So we are just going back to that anchorage to try and find our chain, shackle and line. Hope no one's got them. They look pretty old and crappy, so I don't think they're desirable for at least none of the charterers and probably 90% of the cruisers as well. There's not that many budget cruisers around. On Skua we have a manual windlass, which is nearly indestructible and uses no electricity. It doesn't take much effort to pull the chain and anchor up. It's good exercise, but it can take a while for us to get going. We don't mind though. We know that the windlass, which is already 40 years old, will probably keep going for another 40 or more. We made our way back to the island of Meganisi, to the tiny bay where we had to abandon our shore tying gear when a sudden 30-knot squall blew directly into our bay 2 days earlier. Yeah. So there's already a boat anchored stern to, I'm guessing, in the bay. Can't really see any lines from here, but it's probable. So it's so tiny that we're just gonna have to go in by dinghy. So I'm gonna keep the boat in this sort of area just outside the bay, and Ryan is gonna go in by dinghy. 15, yeah? Okay. Was it there?
Yeah, it's all there. And it came out really easy.
Ah, amazing. Well done.
Good job.
Give me your line.
Very good.
Yeah, on the camera.
So it's only small, our little Yankee, but it's managing to pull us along at 2.5 knots in 7.5 knots of wind. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's doing pretty well for its size, I think, and it's so easy to handle and sail with and jibe and everything. Like, oh, it's just the easiest sailing in the world to use, and you can see under it, and yeah, we've been finding it great. Obviously, if we were sailing further today, we'd probably have the main up as well. But for this short little hop up the coast, we'll probably just keep it out for a bit and just coast along nicely. We are just coming back into Vliho Bay now. We're just about to go past Nidri and Tranquil Bay, and then we'll probably just go back down and anchor right down deep inside. It's really nice being down in there. No one anchored anywhere near. You know it's got 360 protection, and it's really good holding in the mud. So we'll head back down in there. Elena needs to do a bit of copywriting work, so we'll probably be there for the rest of this afternoon and tonight, and then see how it looks tomorrow.
The next day, we got Skua ready to sail on. This means getting the dinghy and engine on board, removing the mainsail cover, turning on the instruments and picking up the anchor. How many degrees is it?
It's only 29. We've been fairly comfy in 29 degrees before, but there's just like zero breeze. So hopefully it'll be better once we get out and underway, and there'll at least be the breeze of the boat moving, you know?
Yeah.
And then hopefully later there'll be a bit of breeze to cool us off. But right in here, because there's mountains all around, it's kind of stagnant in terms of the heat, and you just kind of sweat. But hopefully out there will be better. While Eleanor's pulling the anchor up with the windlass, I'm just at the engine. It's a nice open bay here, so she's got plenty of time to pull the anchor up, which is good because you don't want to have to do it fast in this heat. So yeah, I'm just in the shade, trying to keep cool. Oh wait, I do the American.
Whee!
You like that?
We've turned up the engine, haven't we?
Yeah. Sorry.
Stop me.
It's what they all do on the sailing channel.
Because they're way cooler than us.
Yeah.
How many days is it since we have been able to just sail with both sails, making 3 knots? We're doing 3 knots.
When was the last time we sailed? Probably just before we arrived into Greece.
So 19 days ago.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And that was the only wind there was on the other side of May. Oh yeah, slowing down.
Maybe just put the engine back on.
Accidental tack, can you call that? 3 knots of wind. Well, that was a good 2.5 minutes of sailing. Truly enjoyable. Today we're sailing to the island of Kastos, which is east of where we are right now. East of Meganisi, and it's a really tiny island, so only 8 kilometers long, with only 50 inhabitants, and it's meant to be pretty wild. There's a little village with a mini market and a couple of tavernas, but other than that it's pretty much all just natural, and apparently there's no ATMs, no pharmacy, absolutely nothing on the island. Yeah, it's going to be pretty special, I think, and I'm really excited to get there. It's just 18 nautical miles to get there from here, and hopefully we'll be able to sail some of it. We just keep getting the Yankee out and put it back in. It's just not happening yet. And we've left an hour after the wind was meant to start, just in case. So we've done everything we could.
Can I check it?
Bye. Yeah.
Say bye.
I said bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
I've just been texting my mom.
Any second now.
we are in slow cruising mode, rather than voyaging to get miles under the keel, we spend a few days in an anchorage to work on our freelance projects, edit videos and explore. Then we move on to a new anchorage or island. We tend to cover small distances because the wind is usually light, so it can take a while to get to our destination. We always try to fish, but we don't always get lucky.
The wind seems to have stabilised at around 10 knots, so it's really nice to now be sailing, engine off, just poodling along down the coast. We're doing 4 knots in 10 knots of wind, which is pretty reasonable really for just the white sails. We've just got the full main up and the Yankee, and the wind is at about 130 degrees away from there. So yeah, it's really nice. The sea is almost dead flat and there's a really nice view. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we'll catch any tuna at 4 knots, but it's worth it anyway.
What speed are we doing?
We're doing 4.9 knots.
Nice.
And because we've turned and we're now on more of a reach, we misjudged the when to jibe really. We left it too late, so now we're on a beam reach, which is fine. But yeah, it just means the apparent wind's gone up, which is why we're going a bit faster. So,
it's better, really.
yeah, it's probably no slower than jibing earlier.
So it was a little bit full on, so we fell the Genoa way and we're just going in by with the main. We're doing 6 knots and it was super heeled and everything, and we're literally just going over there, so we don't mind going a little bit slower. What a spot! It looks amazing. The water is great. There were thousands of bream in the anchorage, so we tried to fish. We didn't catch any though. These little fish can be super smart. The easy fishing we had in the Balearic Islands was a distant memory already.
What's on the menu?
An omelette with feta cheese and calamata. Well, it's not calamata. Greek olives.
Nice.
But I don't know what to serve with it.
Greek omelette.
A Greek omelette with God knows what.
What about just some tinned peas?
I don't know if we have any more. Oh yeah, we might do actually. You're right.
Let's go and see.
Yeah.
We go to this cupboard over here. Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, well done. Thank you. Here we go.
What do you think of this anchorage?
I really like it.
It's nice swimming, huh?
It's really nice. See everything underwater without the need of a mask.
At one point I'm going to get used to opening my eyes underwater.
It's stings so bad.
Well, when I read that like our tears are just water and salt, I was like, yeah, maybe you'll be right.
We spent a couple of days in this lovely anchorage, working and swimming. Then we fancied a change of scenery, so we hopped along the coast of Kastos to reach a nearby anchorage. Absolutely loving this anchorage, it's incredible. The water is amazing, the actual wilderness behind us is amazing as well, and I'm excited to see what's it like underwater. So we're going to go for a snorkel and take the dinghy across to this little island that's right in front of us and see if there's good snorkeling over there. That I'm a little nervous. It's nice here, huh?
Yeah, really nice. There wasn't much sea life again, but underwater rocks and stuff are really cool.
Yeah, it was decent for the men.
Not too shabby.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our channel. And if you love them, consider supporting our production so we can keep creating them. Join us next time for more sailing in Greece.